Hopefully not too many people got food coma. I didn't get anything, the queue was too long. Isn't it funny in our society now, nobody can wait, and I looked at the queue like, oh God, it's like half my life going to go. Alright, so this could be fun and this could be polarising, let's find out. So, I'm going to talk to you today about maximising your success through customer service experience. Doesn't that sound dull? What I'm going to tell you is this. What if the success of your website was nothing to do with technology? So the first thing you're thinking is she's in the wrong place, but it is true. If we're talking about measuring the success of your website, the platform it's on, the software you use, the latest things you found out how to play with in AI, which I'm a big fan of, don't get me wrong, they're not going to be the difference. Because if you're designing or creating websites to generate income, if the till's not ringing, your website's not working. And the thing that I'm going to teach you today is 3 things to focus on, which will get you out of the mindset of, well, if the technology's good, then the results will be. Your technology will make your website good. If your website's good for your business is a different thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. As I say, a bit of an old thing here, but we're talking about customer experience. We're talking about people. Creating a website or an online system, you've got to think about who's going to be using it. First and foremost, the tech you then use is the how. The what and the why is the people. That's what it's going to come down to. Because you cannot trump, you can have the best tech in the world, you cannot trump a bad customer experience with tech. Right? You need to get into the mindset of people. And we're not going to talk about code. So please don't all rush for the doors if you're coders, all right? I love a bit of code myself, but I know with my team we can get stuck into that nitty-gritty of the ones and the zeros, and we forget about the human meat sacks at the other end of the mouse who are going to be actually using it. That's what I'm going to talk about. So as was mentioned, my name is Fiona, I run Fat Promotions. It's a very old photo. God, the last time I gave a talk in person, it was about 2019, I think it was in Florida. It was good fun. They whoop a lot. That's quite startling if you haven't given a talk in the States, that's good fun. But as was mentioned, yes, I have worked in the industry a very long time. I started my company 23 years ago when my first office looked like that. Now Harry there, bless him, he's long gone. Please don't look at the curtains, but look at that monitor. Oh. Seriously, look at it. My card's smaller than that now. That's right big, isn't it? So I like to think, me and Harry have come a long way since then. Yes, we did engineer the online system for the National Trading Standards Office, and it was great because what was interesting was the, I can't say agency, what are they? They're a department, they're a government department. And they came to us and they said, we've got this great new system, we're going to go out, we're going to prevent vulnerable people in the community from being scammed. Scamming was on the rise. Bear in mind, this is the years BC, or before COVID. So, you know, scams went bananas in COVID, went just off the charts. And these lovely people from the county council came to us and said, we've got this great idea, we've got this little PowerPoint, and we get out this laptop. It's like this thick. I don't know how anyone's going to carry that out. We've got this laptop, and we're going to give them this death by PowerPoint. We're going to go out into community centres and libraries, and we're going to go out to village halls, and we're going to teach people how to prevent scams in their area or stop people being scammed. And we said, well, okay, without the bloody awful laptop, and then what? How do you measure the results? Because the result is they had a government directive to train 1 million people in 3 years. And they said, well, we're going to give them a load of paper and they're going to fill it, we're going to hand out the sheets at the start, and then, have you got any pens? And I'm like, ugh. I said, let's do it online. Because thinking about the people they were trying to reach, they weren't the little old dears. We've got to bear in mind, they were talking about it tends to be older generation who gets scammed. Firstly, that's not the case. But secondly, those little old dears aren't going to come and watch a PowerPoint. They're not the ones you're actually aiming at. Who you're actually aiming at is their kids, carers, friends, family, neighbours, who tend to be younger, looking out for the old dears next door. So we did it all online. In comes COVID, thank God, because they couldn't have gone out anyway, so thank God we've done it online. and they ended up reaching their target 3 years early. So this is a good thing, but this is where we came up with that, not because it meant that we could build a bigger platform, because it was about the people they were trying to reach. They would not reach them the way they were going. So as was mentioned, I'm a big advocate for women in business as well, and I run a masterminding group for women in business. If anybody wants to talk to me about that afterwards, please can we do so. But in my time in the industry, since Harry went, bless his little heart, since Harry went, I've had my hand in thousands and thousands of websites, and I've learned this more than anything. We decide what to buy using logic. We choose who to buy it from with emotion. It's an old thing, head and heart, right? Do you choose with your head, do you choose with your heart? Your head will say, okay, I need a new car. I need something that's got so many seats, that's got a big boot, that goes this fast, that comes in these colours. Head, 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 head. Emotion, the one you get in and you give it a little blip on the throttle and you go, ooh, it's the one you buy every time. It is all about emotion. And this is the key thing in transforming website results. Okay? You need to make that emotional connection, because we always say we want to convert your visitors, your people who come to your website, they look, they click on a few pages and then they go. To convert them to paying clients and raving fans, you've got to make that emotional connection. And we're not talking about user experience. That's the thing. Some people say, oh yes, I'm a UX developer, I make sure we use like the right colours and the right fonts and diddly-diddly. Which is great. User experience is super important, don't get me wrong. All of the tech's important, obviously I wouldn't be doing it, but they're not users, they're people. They've got a profile, they've got a story, they've got a history, they have an emotional need. A great example is we work with one company who they do weight loss programs. And they say, everyone comes to them and says, I want to lose weight. One session in, and they're saying, I want to lose weight because I want to feel better. I want to be able to keep up with my kids. I don't want to be gasping and panting when I'm coming up the stairs. I have to take the lift. There's no judgment. But it's really important to remember what's that emotion behind it. And also, when people say that my website's a shop window, it's not. It's your first customer experience that people have of coming to work with you. They want to know what it's going to be like to work with you. It used to be quite linear. I remember when it used to be, I need a new car, so I look online for car dealerships and I look on your website and see what you've got, and then I'll come and see you. And it's And now it's like this whole squealy little thing that goes on. Where they go, I need a new car, so the first thing I'm going to ask my mates. And then I'm going to go on Facebook and ask my Facebook friends, which was the other thing. Grab a seat properly, don't worry. It was only killing time, you're not Mr. Thing. So then they go, okay, I'm going to ask my mates, I'm going to look, and then I look for reviews, I look at your FIFOs and your trust pilots and all of these different things. So they've already gone all over the internet before they come to you. Okay? So they've already done some of that research. So when they come to you, it's not like user experience, this is the funnel I want them to come down. They're people, they're customers, what's their emotional need at that point? We decide with logic, we choose with emotion. All right, let's get into the good stuff. So, how are we going to master this? How we're going to master this is your website needs to be consistently doing three things: attracting, connecting, and engaging. They are the three key things I guarantee you will transform the results you're getting from a website, whether you're doing it for yourself or for your clients, whoever you're doing it for. Okay? That's what people are going to remember in the world, is when you get that. And I'll tell you all about it. So, attracting. Number one, attracting. Does anybody work designing websites here? Right? How many times have you said to somebody, who's your target audience, and they say, everyone?
They all do.
They all do.
They are potentially not.
This is why we're not allowed to carry guns in this country, because we all get sick of hearing it. It's not everybody. I was trying to help people to narrow. It's like saying, well, my 80-year-old niece, my 88-year-old father, these are not your target audience. So we're going to narrow. And as soon as you say we're going to narrow the market, they're like, oh, and they see the numbers coming down, and they think, oh, they do their Facebook ad bits, and it says, oh, instead of 50 bazillion people, you're going to reach 240,000. They think, oh my God, only 240,000. It's going from scattergun to laser focus. With scattergun, they get excited because they think, oh, I'm going to get billions of people coming and look at my site. Yeah, but they're looking. I'm just looking, I'm not buying, right? This is the trouble. We want to get away from that. So, when I say to people, you need to get super focused on your client, target client. We've heard of dream client, ideal client, avatar was a popular one for a while. Who do you want to work with? As a business owner, I can be honest, I've lost sight of that a few times and got all excited about what we do rather than what they need. So I will admit that, I have made that mistake myself, I've been right there. But if you want to work out who you want to work with, and people say, I don't know, super easy. Who is the person that when their number comes up on your phone, in a business sense, you think, oh, fantastic. People go, oh, Fred, how's it going? Not the one that you go, oh, hi. The ones that you go, oh yeah, how's it going? What's happening? The client that you already have, who you already love. And if you're starting out and you don't already have a client that you already love, who would they be? What would they look like? So then we talk about their demographic. We hear this all the time. What age group are they? What stage are they at in their business? What sort of turnover are they looking at in their business? And people say, oh, well, I don't just want people who just got pots of money. We do, but we don't like to say it because we're too British. But it's one of those things where you've got to get a clear picture. Who is that person? Get a really clear idea. If you want them to be UK based, where in the UK? Do they have to be local to you? None of us are running parochial businesses anymore. We can work with pretty much anybody in the digital sphere. So who do you want to work with? Get that super clear picture of them. Easy to work out. And once you've got that, keep that person at the front of everything else. I know it sounds like such a basic piece, but keep that person in mind for everything that follows, because when you've got that idea of that person, you then go on to how you're going to connect with them when they come to your website. All right? Now this may come down to the language. We're talking conversion rate, horrible term. It's how do you connect with the human being when they come to your website, all right? Because when they come to your site, they want to feel heard, they want to feel understood, and they want to feel served. They want to feel this is somebody who really wants to meet my needs. This is somebody who really wants to solve the problem that I've got. And remember, it's not about them. The minute they get to your website, it's not about you, sorry, it's about them. Because the minute they get to your website, I've seen so many websites, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that, we offer the other. You're weeing all over people. Nobody wants that. Well, probably somebody wants it, it's a whole other website. But it's not about you. When they come to your website, they want to see straight away. If you're in this situation and you have these challenges, we have the solution and this is what it looks like. So you see how straight away I swerved away. So we'll say, yes, we've got the solution, but we're not talking about it. This is what it looks like. Here is your solution. And here's somebody else's work for. So you've then got that whole social proof thing that comes in and that sort of stuff. But it's all about them. So your language is super important and the images you choose. We did a website a few years back for a local charity in Hastings who they do pop-up night shelters for homeless street sleepers. And really lovely people, amazing charity. And they said, we've got all the photos, we'll give you the photos. And they said, obviously we can't show the clients, as they call their service users, we can't show the clients' faces. But we've got all of these stock images we've bought. And they're all people sleeping in doorways. Now, one of the biggest challenges, believe it or not, for homeless people in this country is that society ignores you. We turn away, we don't want to see homeless people. We see somebody begging and we might just go past. We see them sleeping in doorways and we think, ooh, it's not a good image, it's an image we turn away from. So what we said to that client was, okay, who are you trying to reach? And they really wanted trustees and volunteers, people who want to get involved. So if you're asked to get involved, first thing people say is, will you lend a hand? We then went and picked out a whole load of different images all about hands. So we had hands around a warm bowl of soup. We had hands giving somebody a meal. We had hands handing somebody a blanket. No faces, because we couldn't show faces, went all to the hands. We were making that physical, obvious, visible connection. If you want to be involved, this is you. You imagine you're handing somebody something to eat, you're giving comfort. And that's the sort of people who want to volunteer, is people who want to help. They don't want to see, look how awful this is, they want to see, look how amazing you can make it. It sounds really harsh and selfish, but it's a connection and it's emotional. So once they've come to your website and thought, that's me, that's definitely me she's talking to, engaging. Now, this is where most websites that come to us and say, we're not getting anything, I don't get anything from my website. It's because they're not engaging. You can't make them think. A link to your contact us is not enough. Make it so obvious what it is you want them to do next. Super, super obvious. And one of my favourites is call us now, but you're aiming at people who are at work between 9 and 5 when you're open. And when they look at that at 8 o'clock in the evening on their tablet while they're watching EastEnders with half an eye and trying to keep the kids out of the fridge, they don't want to call you now. You're shut anyway. So let's have book a call back. Let's have book a meeting right now. Let's have download this and fill it in and send it back and we will contact you. You know, anything like that. You want to be making it super, super, super clear what it is you want them to do. Don't let them think about it, right? Another thing with the call us now thing, and I'm picking on telephone people and that's not fair, is there was a whole generational thing and partly cultural because of the last 3 years. People don't want to pick up the phone. They want to WhatsApp you. They want to send you a message through Messenger or reach out through your social media. They don't want to pick up a phone and talk to a person. Honestly, our phone calls now, just about zero. Emails, through the roof. WhatsApp, Messenger, that's a whole other talk about how to manage that without losing my marbles. But people don't want to pick up the phone anywhere near as much as they used to. And that's us meeting them where they are now, give them the roots that they really want. Now remember, all of these three, you're attracting, connecting, engaging, they're all about that one person we talked about at the start, that lovely Fred who phones up and you think, yay, it's free. So I will share with you, my dream client is Peter. This is not Peter, this is somebody I made up with AI at about 8:30 last night. I thought, well, I haven't got a picture of Peter. Shit, I'll put that there, that'll do. So let's pretend this is Peter. He would love to look like that, I can tell. He's a lovely guy. Here's my dream client, okay? When I design anything for us, any marketing material, any social posts, my LinkedIn articles, to a point, the book that I wrote, it's all about the Peters of this world. Because I know he is my dream client. He's UK based, he's a managing director, he's got big plans to grow. You know, these are all the things I'm looking at. So yes, I did talk about demographics, like his turnover and all of that sort of thing, but it's the emotional thing that's going to make the difference. He's got plans to grow, and we know we can unlock those plans. We can make that happen with a digital website. So we started working with Peter. He is a real person, that's just not his photo. He came to us at the start of his business, and he and his wife had an office above the shop. And it wasn't in a particularly nice, it was a little rundown little strip of shops, and he and his wife were there, and they told me all about this amazing product they have, this service, product-led service that they provide to the manufacturing industry. Groundbreaking. When I look at it now, they were decades ahead of their time. They had an eco twist when nobody was talking about eco. Okay? So they came to us, and I started talking to him, who was your target audience? And it's wonderful, bless her, I love her. Everybody. Okay. And I said, right, Peter, who's your target audience? He said, oh, right, well, it's the specifier or the project manager, or if it's a new build situation, it might be right at the start of this, that, and the other. So he understood it, he got it. We worked with him, we got his target audience honed and put together, built his website around it, and he's gone on to do extremely well. The nice thing is, though, he has come back to us again and again and again. If you want to get recurring revenue from your customers, what you've got to remember is, they're your target audience now. If they don't evolve, they may step out of being your target customers. And his customers evolved, and we kept up with it. So at every evolution of his business, as his business grew and grew, he then said, well, now I'm dealing with these people. Now I'm dealing with these people. And we were redesigning and redeveloping his site at every stage. Not to put in the latest tech, but to make sure that his online presence was reflected who he is now, who his company is now, and who he wants to work with. Okay, he's now an 8-figure global business. It's ridiculous. I spoke to him a few weeks ago. He's in Papua New Guinea overseeing a new project. He's probably like popped his head round the door once. he's got his team doing it, you know, fantastic. And the office above the shop is long gone, but, you know, he has stayed a customer with us. Is it just because he likes us and we made him feel good and we made him feel heard and understood and served with the solution he needed? It was, but it was also because that helped us connect. He likes us. He feels now a loyalty, which is really nice. And so he comes back to us again and again and again. And that's what you need to remember is as you evolve in your business, your client avatar / green client evolves as well. And if you're working with a long-term, so do theirs. So you've got to keep them up to speed with it as well, which is awesome. So when people talk about their target audience, it's not enough to just go and woo the Peters of the world and think that that's it and they're done forever. Because what we need to remember, I touched on it then, is customer loyalty. Customer loyalty is not a decision, that's a choice. When you get your loyalty card at Tezzy's and it says you get 2 pence off Jaffa cakes, and they think you're loyal to them because you gave them 2 pence off Jaffa cakes, you know they're not. Somebody else does Jaffa cakes cheaper. I'm going anywhere for Jaffa cakes, I'm a big Jaffa cake person. So it's not loyalty. The people who say, I would never go to Sainsbury's because I get value from Tesco, they're not talking money, they're talking they feel valued. Customer loyalty is that, not that decision, it's that choice, and as we said, we choose with emotion. You can't make the connection emotionally unless you know who you're dealing with. Once you know that dream client and you base everything around them, you will unlock the hidden profit in any business, in any industry, every single day. Guaranteed. Thank you very much for listening. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, I would be very happy to answer. Stand silence, no one says.
If you have multiple audiences and you need to communicate with them quite significantly differently, would your recommendation be to like separate or have different areas within the same website, or would you have separate ones to talk to each of those audiences?
I would definitely, it's an excellent question, thank you. I would definitely segment it. If you go to our site, we have 3 key target profiles. We have Peter the businessman, we have Sarah the public sector officer who runs her department, and we also have Andrew who runs charities. And for each one, when you come to our website, number 1 says, you know, you're in business, you've got big plans to grow, and the website you've got is just not supporting them. This is how we would fix it. Find out more. Andrew with his charity, you didn't start a charity to run a business. I love working with charities, but they've got no business sense because they're not in business. They're a charity, they're all hard. We say you want to help all the people you set out to help, we can help you do that without running yourself ragged. So you can segment them. The danger can be, just to caveat that slightly, if you've got 10 different audiences, then you might want to ask yourself, am I the person saying when somebody asks me who's my target audience? Everybody. So pick them out, and if nothing else, pick out the ones you want to work with. We do forget that, I think, sometimes in business, as I say, I've forgotten it. You know, it's just, oh, well, they need me. We did loads of work with hoteliers for years. Hoteliers are bananas, they're great, they're mad as a box of frogs, they've got a different idea every other week. I think to run a hotel, you must be like really attracted to everything new and shiny, like butterflies every day going on, it's crazy. They weren't great to work with. We did good work for them, they paid their bills, technically, it's a box tick. Didn't light me up. Didn't make my team go, oh yeah, get to do that again. So that's what's important. Anybody else?
And what's your book about?
My book is Website Mastery for Business Owners Who Don't Speak Tech. It is the non-coder's guide to launching a high-performing website which boosts your traffic, increases your conversion, and grows your business. But if you're looking for how to code any sort of programming language, no, because even I wouldn't want to read that book.
So, how would you develop a target audience for a B2B site? What sort of approach would you take with that?
It's the same thing. It's a really good question because a lot of people say, well, I'm not B2C, I'm B2B. Well, Peter's a B. Peter's a business owner, and he runs, you know, his business, and I'm all B2B. We don't do any B2C stuff that I can think of. I suppose technically the public yeah, B2B stuff, people will say to me sometimes, oh yeah, we specialise in accommodation providers, or we specialise in the hotel, and I'm picking on hoteliers now, we specialise in the hotel industry. If I'm a hotelier, does that make me feel special?
So it's kind of honing it in a bit
It's
further.
honing it in. It is that whole thing. If you imagine your whole scattergun, you get like a blunderbuss of a thing, and you could throw out 15 bullets, you might hit the right one. If you've got a laser pointer and I go, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And that's what's really important. I was telling somebody earlier, I think it was you I was chatting about earlier, and saying that we had this really fantastic business up in East Grinstead we work with, and they do like these mid-range designer handbags, and they were getting fantastic traffic to the website, but nobody was buying. They had a 4% conversion rate. And I said, who do you want to work with? He said, people who want bags. And then I said, if I could win you 1,000 visitors who look, or 100 who buy, and he went, oh, no. Rhetorical question. If the till's not ringing, it's not working. And that's what it is. I hear a lot of people say, my website's great. How many inquiries do you get through it? I don't know. Okay. How many new customers do you get through it? I don't know. Where do your customers come from? I don't know. Because you don't know your customer. Got to know your customer first. It's not about the tech. Is that helpful?
Yes.
So off on it, I get very excited.
On our site, we sell the most exciting thing ever, which is white goods.
Yeah.
So, they're really exciting, trust me. So, obviously, we just launched our new website. So, we're I was speaking to you earlier on about it. So, our target audience can vary from who we see in the shop. They can be little old dear who just wants cheap and cheerful to somebody who wants a high-end appliance. So, with our website, obviously it's so boring. Like,
Do you think that energy comes across in it at all?
when I'm talking to someone, I'm like all for it. But
Yeah.
seriously, do you want to know about spin speed? Do you want to know about acquisition? Do you want to know?
Do you know what I want to know when I buy white goods?
Yeah,
How quickly can you get one? Mine's just died.
yeah.
That's the emotion. That's what you're looking for. That's the problem you solve. It doesn't matter if it's a fridge or a freezer or a washing machine or tumble dryer or any of the, what was it you told me to? Was it heat source tumble dryers or something?
Yeah, heat
you
pump, tumble dryer.
Awesome. We've got to find out more about this. But that is so you're not dealing with the little old dear or you're this or that. You're dealing with typically somebody who's got one that's just died.
Yeah.
So what they're actually looking for, yes, they're going to compare. Remember the logic versus the choice. The logic is, I need a new washing machine, so I'm going to compare spin speeds, how much I can get, how many kilos I can get into it at once, whether it's got a cat-proof door, you know, whatever you need to do on that. That's all the logical stuff. But the choice is, what's most important to me? We'll get it to you tomorrow, we'll take yours away, we'll install it, you don't have to worry about it. Oh yes, please.
So that's what we really need, because that's what I was about to say to you, because we say, right, we can install it for 30 quid, we do this, that and the other. Is it more that we need to be more helpful? Because when people come in, they have no idea. They think they want a washing machine, then we've got about 40 on the website, so it's more about being more helpful.
Yes.
Because obviously we're up against your AOs, your Currys, people like that.
Yeah.
It's very driven sort of
Yeah, exactly.
But if we can offer them more, explain what spin speed, heat pump does, then people are more likely to.
100%. If you can say to them, we've got the solution for you, and if you're not sure by looking on our website, talk to one of our experienced customer service representatives. They will be more than happy to talk you through all the options, or as few as you want. Tell us what you need, and we'll point you at the right one. They want that, rather than show me 40 washing machines and I can choose one.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I need. Mine's just died. I've had it 10 years anyway. And you go, oh, okay, well, you know, what size family have you got? I bet you just ask your salespeople. I bet the first thing they say is, what size family have you got? You don't need a 30-kilogram drum if you've only got you and the cat. You know, so that sort of thing. That's what you can push. So again?
Depends how big the cat is.
Yeah, this is true. You saw Harry. That was a full-size keyboard. But yeah, it's that emotion. What's the emotional need that you serve? Heard, understood, and served.
Yeah, because we're a family-run business.
perfect. Oh, you see, that should be right at the front.
Yeah, they've been in business for 40 years.
Yeah.
So it started with the granddad, and all the way through, so we try and translate that to the website without it being too cold.
With us, you're not customers, you're family.
You're not DMB domestics, are you? I thought I recognised the fellow that was speaking.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's us.
But yeah, go for that.
Really good.
Yeah, they are the go-to place in
There you go.
Eastbourne.
There you go.
Need a testimonial.
They are. They're very good.
I'm going to quote you on that. Let's go.
But I'm one of your best customers.
Sorry?
I'm one of your best customers.
Why do you go back to them again and again? Don't look
Because
at
they can fix anything and they take the old plants away and they deliver in a short space of time.
And what does that mean for you?
Oh, makes my life easier. I carry on day to day.
Makes you emotional.
Yeah.
You
And they're all
make
very
my
nice.
life easier.
They're all
And they
very
filmed
nice.
that, look.
There we go.
Just once, wouldn't hurt.
They're very good.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Fiona. I don't know about you, but yeah, I definitely picked up a lot of, so much stuff